Hey guys, it's Monday, and I want to ask you to stop being religious people. What's wrong with being religious? Well, we're going to look at a part of our 90-day gospel reading. We're on the second chapter of Matthew today, so I hope you're reading along with us. We're looking at one of the famous bad guys from the Bible, Herod the king. Matthew 2, it starts with, "Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, 'Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star when it rose, and have come to worship him.' When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And assembling all the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them, 'Where is the Christ to be born?' They told him, 'In Bethlehem of Judea, for so it is written by the prophet.'" And then there's a quote from Micah 5:2. "And you, O Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are by no means least among the rulers of Judah, for from you shall come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Here we see Herod the king getting some news that should have been wonderful news to him. He's just been alerted by these wise men that the Messiah is being born, and not far from him. Instead, what he does, if you've been reading this, or maybe you've read this before, he takes this information and he freaks out. He sends people to Bethlehem later to kill every male child who is younger than 2 years old, because he doesn't want to give up his position as the ruler of Israel under the Roman Empire. So how does this apply to our lives? Well, Herod is a religious person. He has these priests and these scribes who have all this wisdom about the law and the prophets, and he knows that if he asks them, "Where's the Messiah going to be born?" that they'll be able to tell him. And they look back at the prophet Micah and they say, "Well, it says here that he's going to be born in Bethlehem." Instead of rejoicing when he hears this news, instead of going to Bethlehem to worship Jesus, he wants to get rid of Jesus because he doesn't want to give up his power, because he thinks that Jesus is coming to take over his throne. Just like Herod here, a lot of us have been going to church our whole lives, or we've been going to church for a long time. Maybe we've read the Bible, we've read a lot of things out of the Bible. Maybe we have a lot of Christian friends. Maybe you go to a Christian school. We have a lot of religious knowledge in our lives. But what we need to have is a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. So when we're coming to church, when we're here on Wednesday evenings, when we're reading the Bible, when we're watching videos, doing things related to our church life, we need to make sure that we're not just doing it because we think it's the right thing to do, or because it's a habit, or because our friends are doing it. We need to make sure that we're making a personal connection. And that's one of the reasons why we're reading through the Gospels. We're reading through the Gospels in 90 days. It's one chapter a day. And one of the main reasons we're doing this is so that we can take these words of Jesus and we can take this amazing story of Jesus Christ and we can apply it to our own lives and make that personal connection. So as we're reading through the Gospel this week, we're reading some really amazing things. We're going to be reading about the baptism of Jesus tomorrow. After that, the temptation of Jesus, and then the Sermon on the Mount. There's so much wisdom in here that we can apply to our daily lives. If you feel like you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, right here in the Gospel of Matthew, we have Jesus Christ speaking to us directly. If you want to have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, this is a great place to start. If you read something in here that you don't quite understand, or you're not quite sure how to apply it to your life, send me a question. Send me your questions. I'm happy to try to answer them. What usually happens is when in the process of trying to answer someone else's question, I end up learning something. So I always value that time. Don't be like Herod and just know about Jesus. Have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ by engaging with him through the gospel message.